All right, hello and welcome guys. In this video, I will be talking about something exciting and interesting and a little bit controversial. Okay, so the topic of today's video is why money is not money and what exactly is it. Okay, so let me start off with the basics. In 1971, before 1971, money was money. Why? Because you could exchange a certain amount of gold or a certain amount of silver for a certain amount of dollars, right? After 1971, the US took off the gold standard so that the US dollar can now fluctuate depending on many different factors. Okay, the primary factor is that because the tether is gone, the US government can print as many millions or billions of dollars as they want. It is the same thing as if you take a piece of paper, write something on it, and start using it as money. There's nothing backing that money. Okay, so it's not money anymore, right? It's a piece of paper. It's an IOU. It is a legal tender backed by the full faith of the US government. That's what the US dollar is. And I don't want to sound too technical, but essentially what it is debt. Okay? It is debt. So money, this thing, I'm showing you a $20 Canadian bill. Guys, this is not money. Okay, this is a common misconception that most people have, and it costs them a lot in their lives. Okay, please understand the difference between money and currency. What I am holding here is currency. And just like every single currency in the world in the history of time, this currency will also revert to $0, to zero in value. Okay, it'll go to zero. Why? Because governments will keep printing more and more of it because they can print more and more of it. And ultimately, if there's too much of something in the economy, the value of that particular thing goes down to zero because then it's not sought after, right? It all comes down to supply and demand. So we have learned that money is not money after 1971. It is debt. Now, why exactly is it debt? Well, it's debt because, once again, the governments, the central banks can print as much currency as they want, but there's a price to be paid for that currency that they keep printing. The price is that taxes have to rise in order to kind of pay for whatever they're printing, the currency that they're printing. Inflation happens because they keep printing money, and that increases the money supply in the economy, and the prices of goods and services increase because of that. Not because goods and services are becoming more expensive, but because your currency is losing value every single day. And I don't mean to sound as if I'm giving you bad news. That's not what I'm trying to do here, but it is a fact, right? It is what it is. Over time, you will see that you will need more currency to buy the same thing. In fact, if you've been paying attention, you would know that something which used to cost $1 10 years ago, it probably costs over $2 now. That thing did not increase in price, at least not technically speaking. It increased the currency used to buy that thing decreased in value. All right. So money is not money, it's currency, and it is debt. Now, how do you make the system work for your benefit? Well, once you really understand that it is debt that you are working with, you will understand why, especially in US and Canada, it is very easy to get a credit card or a credit line or a home equity line of credit because the entire system is debt. It's made up of debt. So the system works, the system keeps expanding if they get you to take on more debt. Okay? Before 1971, credit was not as readily available as it is available today, right? So there are two things that you can do with this debt. You can either use the credit lines or credit cards, whatever it might be, to buy liabilities, TVs, fancy cars, vacation homes, all that stuff, and that's going to make you poorer. Or you can use the same debt and use it to buy assets. Okay, use it to start your own business, use it to buy rental properties, use it to buy dividend stocks, anything which holds its value over time and makes money for you and generates income for you. Okay, in this time and age, it has never been easier to borrow debt. Okay, I'm not gonna say borrow money because it's not money, right? So if you can find a way to borrow debt and use it to create an asset, you will have a skill 99% of people in this world don't have. And that would make you pretty wealthy over time. Okay, I do this. I actually try to do this every year. Okay, I try to figure out what kind of credit I have and what kind of debt I can borrow. I'm not gonna say money, and where I can use it to increase my income. Okay, a very good example of this is to buy, that has worked for me personally, is to buy real estate in Toronto and in the GTA. Okay, because you know that real estate almost always goes up in value, and if you have a tenant sitting in, he or she or they are going to pay for the mortgage if you do everything properly and give you a little bit of a profit every month. After 5 or 10 years, that profit is going to compound, and you're going to be way happier than when you started out. So another thing to realize is that if money is not money anymore, doesn't make sense for you to work every single hour at your 9 to 5 job to collect this. It doesn't, right? Because you can easily borrow. Now, I know I'm simplifying the entire story and the entire situation, but you can borrow currency and use it to invest in order to create assets, right? Of course, you need to have a job to sustain your lifestyle, at least for the short term. But there's a difference between working 9 to 5 till you're 80 years old and investing for passive income in the next 5 to 10 years so you can get out of the system and do whatever you want with your life. Okay? So I'm gonna say it one last time for those who who joined a little later. Money is not money anymore. After 1971, it is currency. Governments and central banks can print billions of currency every single year without anyone stopping them. And this is what is causing the price to increase for everything that you own or want or eat or consume or whatever you want to do with it. All right? The simple way to make the system work for you is to understand that it is debt you are working with, the dollars that you have in your wallet, that's debt too, and you try to find a way to borrow debt and buy assets with it that generate income for you. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. I try to make everything as simple as I can because I know it's gonna bore a lot of people if I go into the into the technical details, because no one wants to hear that, right? So I make everything simple and engaging. So yeah, if you learned something new, please let me know. You feel free to comment. I normally reply to comments within 24 hours, and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.